All right, hello and welcome to Mojo Story. I am Harshit Sharma, and we at Mojo Story are reporting live from ground from the place Joshimath. Joshimath, the holy place which actually is fighting for its existence these days due to the cracks in the houses. The locals here have been evacuated from their own houses, for which they find the NTPC's hydropower plant plausibly blamed to be a quite large extent. Well, our topic for today's discussion is going to be the constructions going on here at the places near Joshimath. Although the government in Uttarakhand has already suggested to stop the construction going on at the places near Joshimath. And the second point for the discussion will be whether the contemporary situation in Joshimath should be declared as the national disaster or not. To move on, I would actually like to introduce our guests first. I have been joined by Professor YP Sundriyal. He happens to be the professor of geology at HNB Garhwal University. Thank you for connecting with us, sir. Welcome to the show. Also, I have with me Mr. Vishal Singh. He is a very senior fellow and brings in a lot of experience as he happens to be the director at CEDAR. Welcome to the show, sir. Now, to begin with the discussion, I would actually like to begin with a bite. We actually spoke to a villager who is here at Dhaki, the place situated near the Tapovan, where this project of barrage happens to be building up. Let's listen to the bite first.
मुझे बताइए कि यहाँ से ऐसा बताया जा रहा है कि जो तपोवन से पानी है उसको हेलांग में कहीं निकालना है। क्या प्रोजेक्ट है, क्योंकि यहाँ से टनल भी है इस पेड़ के नीचे?
सर, इसकी शुरुआत 2004 समथिंग इसका प्रोजेक्ट का मतलब रखा गया था यहाँ पे, और 2006 से इस पे काम स्टार्ट हुआ। फिर 2011 में रोका गया। लोगों ने कहा कि इससे नुकसान हो सकता है, दरारें पड़ रही है, फिर रोका गया। फिर उसके पश्चात फिर कंपनी का काम नहीं रुका, फिर चालू हुआ। फिर इसने 2024 में कमीशन होना था, और जोशीमठ में दरारें आने के कारण इसको थोड़ा अभी इन्होंने बंद कर दिया गया है एनटीपीसी का काम जी। और जोशीमठ इस एनटीपीसी के इसको भी कारण बताया गया है, जोशीमठ जो दरारें पड़ रही है कि ये इससे जो सुरंग में जो ब्लास्टिंग हो रही है, जो विस्फोटक हो रहा है, उससे भी हमारी मतलब दरारें आ रही हैं, हिल रही है। तो इसको भी मतलब कारण बताया गया है, और इसका काम एनटीपीसी का काम फिलहाल बंद कर दिया गया है जब तक इसकी फॉरेंसिक रिपोर्ट नहीं आ जाती।
काम अभी अधूरा है ये वाला जो टनल?
सर, अधूरा क्या, मतलब 2024 में इसने कमीशन होना है। समथिंग 2-4 किलोमीटर या फिर 5 किलोमीटर समथिंग बचा हुआ है।
अच्छा,
हाँ।
तो कितना किलोमीटर लंबा ये टनल बन रहा है?
सर, ये टनल यहाँ से 12 किलोमीटर जोशीमठ, और 12 से समथिंग 15 से 20 किलोमीटर का टनल होगा, या फिर 25 तक।
इधर मेरे पीछे जोशीमठ है और यहाँ आगे तपोवन है, और उससे आगे रैनी गांव है,
उससे आगे।
और हेलांग किस तरफ है?
हेलांग सर जोशीमठ से 10-12 किलोमीटर आगे,
जोशीमठ से उस तरफ। हाँ, यानी कि तपोवन से पानी होता हुआ टनल के थ्रू नीचे
सर, जब ये प्रोजेक्ट इसने पूरा होना था, तो इसी इंटैक से, जो ये बैराज के सामने पे आपको इंटैक दिखाई दे रहा है, हाँ, इसी इंटैक से पानी ने प्रवेश होना था,
यहाँ से पानी
प्रवेश होना था, और यहाँ से हेलांग से इसने बाहर निकलना। वहाँ पे टरबाइन वगैरह सारे कंप्लीट हो चुके हैं, वहाँ पे तो प्रोसेस पूरी है, लेकिन ये बीच में जो इनका वो
जो बाड़ा
मशीन है सर,
हाँ, वो फंस गई थी,
वो फंस गई है।
Okay, now to begin with the discussion, Professor YP Sundriyal, I would actually come to you first. The villagers here believe that this project by NTPC, the hydropower project, the place where I'm actually standing is the right behind the tunnel, which is actually being considered as the apple of discord for the whole of this disaster which has actually happened in Joshimath. To what extent do you believe that this construction by NTPC for the hydropower plant is responsible for whatever has happened in Joshimath?
Actually, we are discussing this issue for last 2-3 days, and as I consider that for the sinking and cracks of the houses occurred in the RCC structure of the Joshimath, we will have to consider many other things also. Because the Joshimath is located on a loose landslide material, and this was reported in 1939, and after during 70s, these cracks are also developed in some houses, and at that time the people met the chief minister of the Uttar Pradesh, and you all are aware that there was a commission of MC Mishra, and they have recommended, so they have submitted some recommendation through their report, and they also suggested some mitigation measures, what should be do and don't do, like that. So the base of the Joshimath is very weak. Number one. Number two, as I consider the role of hydro project, if they are using the blasting, certainly they are creating the local earthquake. And due to the blasting, shaking is there. And if heavy structure is sited over the loose material, then certainly the cracks and fracture may be created. Anything more you want from me?
I just actually wanted to know that do you believe that this project by NTPC is majorly responsible for whatever has happened in Joshimath? The landslide, the cracks in the houses, at least the villagers believe so. What do you think, sir?
Uh, I have told you that the Joshimath is situated over a paleo landslide, old landslide, and its base is very weak. Number one. Number two, that tunnel is being prepared by this hydro project NTPC, and that tunnel I don't know how much they have constructed till now, but they have started this tunnel. They are constructing from Tapovan site, and NTPC is saying that we have constructed only 4 kilometer tunnel. So if they are using the blasting, that may play some role in creating the cracks in the houses. But the main reason is the basement of the Joshimath is very weak. It is totally located on a paleo landslide.
All right. I got your point, Professor Saab. Vishal Singh ji, do you believe there's a debate going on whenever we talk about the development and the nature hand in hand? Where do you find that equilibrium which we can talk about whenever I'll talk about the development in the hilly areas? To what extent these construction and the construction at such a large scale are right to be done in the hilly areas on the name of the development?
Well, just going back to the points that Professor Sundriyal made, Joshimath has existed much before the NTPC planned this tunnel. So they were well aware that Joshimath is situated on debris. So whether it was wise to build a tunnel close to a place which is vulnerable, which is which and it could further enhance the vulnerability of the town. Whether it was wise to build something close to that place. Secondly, our development planning, our development, the trajectory has been such that we have totally ignored the natural environment while we plan these projects. And I'm not. It has been reiterated by scientists. It has been said. It has been written. There are government documents available. The 1970 Mishra report that Professor Sundriyal mentioned about. So, it's we have completely ignored the mountain characteristics, the way we have been doing our development is similar to what we do in areas which are stable. This is not Gurgaon. It's a very, very fragile area and susceptible to multi hazards, not just these kind of things, but there are other compounding factors as well, such as climate change. Even a schoolboy would be able to tell you that tunneling below the debris is a recipe for disaster in making. So, I mean, this is complete lapse of planning and vision.
All right. Meanwhile, I guess I have been joined by Mr. Vaibhav. Vaibhav is a local from Uttarakhand and he owns an adventure park which is called Aquaterra in a place called Atali, which is near Rishikesh. Vaibhav ji, I would like to ask you what is the exact situation in Atali? Because when we reported live from Atali, we found that construction work was still going on for the railway tunnel, even though the Uttarakhand government has mentioned to stop all the construction works in the hilly areas. What is the exact situation right now, Vaibhav?
The situation is still what it was earlier this week. So I'm unaware if it has stopped, but I don't think it has. So to answer your question, yes, your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah, that is actually a major point of concern because I think that people have not actually learned a lot of lessons from whatever has actually happened recently in the area of Joshimath. Because while we were coming up side like from Rishikesh through Srinagar to Joshimath, we actually saw a lot of sites where the construction was going on. So, Vaibhav, how badly has been Atali affected by these constructions, especially that railway tunnel which is being constructed over there?
So the construction of the tunneling has had the use of dynamite, which it apparently, according to plans when the project was conceived, and in all the earlier launch videos, there were supposed to be machines that would bore, and there would be mapping of mountain aquifers. This apparently has not been done. So all your little hamlets, the water has indeed disappeared, and the administration is trying very hard to provide for people, and they're working very, very hard, but at a complete loss because again, there was no mapping done, there was no avoidance measures put in place, and this is the youngest mountain chain in the world. It is still growing, and I mean, it's easy ki hindsight, yeah, the benefit of being wiser after the event. It is really not that. I mean, we do need to go back to the drawing board.
Yes, actually, even the people are being affected very badly. We even spoke to a lady at Atali. She was a bit emotional because her house was kind of damaged due to this construction going on at Atali. Let's listen to her first.
अब करना क्या चाहते हो? अब सरकार के काम है। हम तो बहुत प्रॉब्लम है। जब सीबीडी ने रैली आए यहाँ, और सीबीडी में बहुत परेशान है हम, है ना? हम तो यहाँ ही रहना है। यहाँ हमारे घर रहे, हमारे कहीं नहीं है घर, ना घर रहे ना ज़मीन है। यहाँ हमारे ज़मीन है। हम बहुत परेशान हैं वो सीबीडी। 2-3 साल हो गए ना, परेशान है बेटा हम बहुत। हाँ,
कहते हैं घर आदमी बहुत मेहनत भर की कमाई से ज़िंदगी भर की से बनाता है।
मेहनत से सिर में दर दर कन मट्टी, ये मट्टी ले आए हम, पत्थर ले आए, पत्थर से है हमारे पड़े मकान। ईंट नहीं है, पत्थर से है। बहुत परेशान है हम। सरकार तो अपने जगह में है, हम लोग अपने जगह में, गरीब लोग हैं हम। हमारे तक यही है ज़मीन, यही तो हमारे जायदाद है, यही हमारे सब कुछ है। हम गरीब लोग हैं।
All right, so there is another debate going on. Professor Saab, I would actually like to involve you in this. Firstly, I mean, there have been a PIL filed in the Supreme Court of India, which talks about that the contemporary situation in Joshimath should be declared as national disaster. Earlier, we reported that Red Cross has arrived in Joshimath. So, is there a chance that this contemporary situation in Joshimath will be declared as a national disaster, or what's your take on it, sir?
Actually, to declare the national disaster, it is up to the government, and this decision will be taken by the state on the recommendation of the state government, and then the central government will do that. So I don't know what will be the decision of the government, but certainly this is a big calamity what is happening in the Joshimath. But I always think in positive way, and now our technology, we have the technology that we can mitigate, we can use some measures to in the Joshimath, but for that we will have to make we will have to map entire area of the Joshimath uh, with very micro scale, and then we'll have to divide entire area of the Joshimath in separate zones, and then we will have to think that what should be the technology to seal the cracks, and then we will have again plan how the drainage system may be regulate so that the water cannot percolate down, which is mainly sinking the area. So we can mitigate up to some extent this problem. But the big RCC structure which have tilted the buildings and hotels, government will have to demolish that.
All right,
After that,
Vishal Singh ji, we have been hearing from various. Please continue, sir. That's my bad. Please continue.
but we will have to make a proper plan for that.
Yes, we need a proper plan for whatever the things need to be done here. Vishal Singh ji, my question to you was: we have been hearing from various experts that there are very less probabilities of saving Joshimath now. Is it like that? And if it is like that, isn't it enough to declare whatever has happened in Joshimath as a national disaster? What do you like to say, sir?
Well, Joshimath has reached a point from where it would be difficult to remedy what has already been done. As far as national, considering it as a national disaster, I do not know the parameters upon which national disasters are, parameters around which national disasters are declared. However, uh, whether it comes or not, are the mindsets behind these development projects should definitely come as a natural, as a disaster in the list of disasters. It deserves that state. They deserve that status to be uh, in that list. So that's what I would say.
Here are not meant to be discussed on the parameters and when we spoke to the people who have been evacuated from their houses, they actually seem to be quite reluctant of whatever is going to happen with them in future. Do you connect with them ethically, and do you believe that they are not being paid the attention which they deserve in such situations because they are actually unaware of whatever is going to happen with them in the near future? What's your take, Vaibhav?
There are two aspects to it. Yes, of course, we are letting them down every day by not having the clarity of what will be done, what the future holds for them. And you were talking about declaration of a national disaster. It's already a national disaster with or without declaration. In fact, it is very close to becoming a national embarrassment. हम लोग देख रहे हैं बड़े बड़े देश अपने बड़े डैम डीकमीशन कर रहे हैं। यूरोप में दो विश्व युद्ध हुए हैं पर उनकी सड़कें इतनी चौड़ी नहीं हुई हैं। उनके रेल कार्यक्रम की वजह से लोगों के घर बार नहीं टूटे हैं, लैंड सब्सिडेंस नहीं हुआ है, डायनामाइटिंग रुक गई है, लोगों के पास पानी नहीं है। आई मीन it is very close to being declared or looked at it in this manner. So but again, like, we have to go back to the drawing board. This is not about passing the buck. ये चीजें सबको पता है कि हिमालय में you need research. It's a delicate mountain balance. It is the world's largest mountain chain, still growing. We must stop it. The powers that that have means to stop this must act now. And प्रजा के लिए तो यही है, जो सब नागरिक हैं. I mean, who wants to move out? कितना विस्थापन होगा? और जैसे मैं कहा था पिछली बार, ये रेल किस लिए है? अगर 125 किलोमीटर रेल भारत जैसे देश को चाहिए to defy China, then we must really go back to the drawing board. At what cost is this being done? At what cost are our mountains being dynamited and still are continuing to do so? I think हमारी बस ये गुजारिश है कि somebody calls a stop to it and we all go back to the drawing board. Enough lessons have been learned right from Tehri Dam, which is why I said every successive government has not paid enough attention, not for shortage of reports. The Tehri report happened in 70, 72, 73, yet it was ignored. Let's bring them out of the cupboard. Let's have a look at them again. And let's proceed in a manner that does not cause any inconvenience to the local Pahadis.
All right, you mentioned at what cost. Vishal Singh ji, I would come to you. At what cost? I mean, let's talk about the opportunity cost first. The place where I'm standing right behind me is this tunnel on Rishi Ganga Dam, which produces 520 megawatts of electricity. So, as far as development is concerned, it seems to be a very good project. The electricity supply is being helped a lot by it. But where do you find equilibrium? Again, I would ask the same question. Is it not necessary for the people here living here that they are provided with equal opportunities of development? And if yes, then how do we find that line that yes, boss, we cannot cross this line now? I mean, I believe the development is necessary as well, but to what extent?
Definitely, development is necessary, but development needs to be in line with our biophysical environment. It cannot be similar to what is happening elsewhere in the world. As Vaibhavji said, we need to step back. We need to look at, we need to look at it from far and see, what exactly do we want from these areas. Uh, that drawing board approach is very, very important. It is not just a matter of Joshimath. There are other places across Uttarakhand and the entire Himalayan region which are on the brink of collapse. And maybe we learn lessons from Joshimath, uh, redefine our the way we need to develop the state and come up with solutions which are nature based and soft in nature, in terms of heavy landscaping or building concrete over fragile mountains is something that does not require too much of scientific acumen. It is a matter of common sense. So we need to bring the people of we need to empower the people of Uttarakhand. We need to look at opportunities to for their upliftment. At the same time, it cannot be at the cost of their lives.
Yes, of course, you cannot cost their lives. Professor Yashpal, let's talk about the precautions which should have been taken. Being a geologist, what do you think that NTPC or any construction company here working here in the hills misses out before starting any major project like this one we are talking about?
Actually, as far the hydro project is concerned, this Vishnugad project is located in the higher Himalaya. And as a geologist and as a resident of the Uttarakhand, I have visited each and every place of Uttarakhand. And during the 2021 Rishiganga disaster, on 6th February, we were at Joshimath, and on 7th morning, we came down, and on the same day, the Rishiganga tragedy happened. And I am of the view that higher Himalaya should be kept free from the hydro project. And the reason behind that, because this higher Himalaya has enormous amount of the sediments. Our glaciers are receding due to the global warming. And when we say that the glaciers are receding, they left behind huge amount of the loose sediment. And this loose sediment, when get a suitable environment. I mean to say that if there is a heavy rainfall, this sediment mobilize in the valleys down, and it creates havocs. What happened in Rishi Ganga? Rishi Ganga create the havoc till the Vishnu Priyag, and the quantity of sediment was very high in that water on 7th February. But the amount of water was so less that till 5 p.m. we could not get the muddy water in the Alaknanda, even in the Karnapriya. So we should keep free from the hydro project construction, higher Himalaya, as far higher Himalaya is concerned. Now, the second thing, people says that we need the power, we need the electricity, and that electricity will we get if we will construct the hydropower. I am of the view that hydropower should be constructed, but if we are using Himalayan resources for our need, we should be very careful. We will have to use such technology which will not damage the infrastructure, which will not damage the natural safe of the Himalaya. And if they are using blasting to excavate the tunnel, it is very unfortunate, because the blasting makes these fragile mountains more and more weak. And as you are aware that this Joshimath is not only the one example, we have many places in Uttarakhand which are sinking. Just yesterday, I was in another channel, and they asked me that they heard that the cracks develop in the houses at Karnaprayag. We have many hot spots. We have the Gopeshwar, which is also located on a paleo landslide, which is the district headquarters of the Chamoli. We have the Gupta Kasi on the way in the route of the Kedarnath. So we have number of small town villages. Actually, they have located in the middle slope of the hill, and in the middle slope, if the angle of slope is less there, it means the loose material due to the landslide got deposited in a place where it can be accommodated, and people make their houses, their shelters in the middle of the Himalaya, which are uh, certainly the located on the paleo landslide. So this is a geological issue, but when we will enhance the load on a weak foundation, then as we are facing the Joshimath crisis, we may face this type of the crisis in other places of Uttarakhand.
All right. Vishal Singh ji, Professor Saab has clearly mentioned that higher Himalayas should be kept away from these hydropower plants. How much do you agree with him? And if you do, what way will you convince the people who might lose actually an opportunity of living a better life in a developed manner?
Well, I mean, Professor Sundriyal is the right expert to comment upon hydropower and where they should be built or not built. But apart from Professor Sundriyal, there have been many other geologists working in the Himalayan region, from Wadia, from Garhwal University, from Kumar University, who have um, who have said the same thing. So, when an expert is saying that we should not be building in the Himalayan region, we should not be building in dams in the Himalayan region. However, we need to find what kind of opportunities, what would be the way in which we could improve the livelihoods of people. We can do. I mean, hydropower से हमें मतलब how much what is the benefit to a common person in Uttarakhand through hydropower? क्या मिलता है? And nothing. The electricity goes somewhere else. So we need to we need to plan in such a way that the people on ground get benefited. And this is the entire reason why the state of Uttarakhand was carved out of Uttar Pradesh, that we are left behind when it comes to development. But the development that is happening today in Uttarakhand is disastrous. You look at places, what happened in 2013, the Kedarnath tragedy. Before that, in Uttar Ukhimat, 69 people died through a landslip. Then what is happening in other places like Nainital, what's going on in Mussoorie. So we have not done anything to improve, to improve our to improve the livelihoods of people in remote areas. All we are concentrated in certain parts, and this needs to be looked upon, and we need to rethink about what we really want to do.
I would actually like to move to Vaibhav. Vaibhav, you are a local from Uttarakhand. You have been speaking for the people here for a while now. I would actually like to ask you, what do the people, what do the netizens here want? What is their priority now? Because I have seen that they are completely unaware of what is going to happen with them in the near future. What evaluation will the government fix for their buildings which are about to be demolished in the near future? Vaibhav, please tell me, what do the people of Uttarakhand, do you believe, exactly want from their government and management?
I feel our brothers and sisters in Uttarakhand are just deeply saddened and disheartened and stunned that forces are moving into Joshimath to demolish in the middle of the night without any clarity on evacuation, on help in moving, and being told where they are moving to. Surely every citizen of this country deserves that bit at least. So yes, there is great despair, and I think our national collective heart must go out for everyone who is having to move out of their homes that have been their homes for hundreds of years, uh, into a very cold winter that is coming in. And I saw your ticker tape about how people are being moved into relief camps, and this must never happen again. I think people need the government, our leaders, to act, and every day is a day too late. There must be action. There must be an immediate stop to dynamiting, to tunneling. As Professor Saab said, till there is greater wisdom in taking these decisions for the future, a complete and absolute stop till every person who is being displaced is treated fairly as a citizen of this country, because they have not done anything to provide for development or production of electricity that goes into Uttar Pradesh or NCR. Why should these people be paying the cost? So yes, great despair, great disappointment, but also great hope that our leaders will act soon. Thank you.
Yes, exactly, Vaibhav. Hope is the only thing which people of Uttarakhand are left with. I would like to thank all of you for connecting with us. This was a great discussion indeed. So, ladies and gentlemen, whatever the situation might be, we can discuss different things on this show or various shows. But the only thing which stays forever is the despair and the pain of the people here in Joshimath. They have been evacuated from their own houses, and now they are unaware of what is going to happen with them in the near future. We need to decide, we need to act as soon as possible. Even the government need to act as soon as possible. But the only thing which will stay forever is whatever is happening with the people of Uttarakhand should be resolved as soon as possible. Thank you so much for connecting with us. Harshit Sharma signing off for Mojo Story.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.